Hi everyone, how are you guys? You guys, we are live here on the Redesign with Prima page, and my name is Brushed by Brandy. Well, my name is Brandy. I am the owner and artist behind Brushed by Brandy. Yeah, my parents weren't that creative with my name. It's just Brandy.
Well, never creative.
You guys, my husband Sean is here behind the camera. He's going to help us answer questions as we go, so pop on and ask any questions you guys have. It is a new release day here at Redesign, and I think these days are super fun because I love to see all the artists on going live. There will be lives here on the Redesign with Prima page all day today. So I think they started at 9 a.m. this morning, and I think they go till 2 p.m. this afternoon. So keep tuning in and just supporting the artists that are showing you all the new fun stuff that we are getting from Redesign today. And I am here to show you a project with one. My page, this is actually a piece we've been working on live. I paint live with you guys every Thursday evening at 6 p.m. on the Brush by Brandy pages, and we worked on this piece live together, and there was a piece that I just couldn't finish. I had to leave it missing, and that's because I couldn't show you until today.
Oh, I'm a sidekick.
Oh yeah, you are. Oh no.
Okay, it's back up. I don't know
All
why
right.
it's gonna do that. Apologies.
All right, we had a little, the internet cut out for just a minute, but hopefully it stays up. Did you check the Wi-Fi on that one? I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We should have Redesign on with us too to help us answer any questions. I think that's Sharon from Redesign. So also, if you have questions, she'll be on with that. So what I'm going to show you and how I'm going to finish off this project is with the new Decor Poly from Redesign. So first let me show you the designs. This one's called Baroque Elegance, and this is the one we're going to use today. It is a really good size. So this is my hand over the top of it. That is a good size molding right there. And this one's we're going to actually do a project with today. But let me show you the other designs before we get started. So this one's called Elaborate Finery, and I think this one's beautiful because it's incredibly detailed. Hopefully you guys can see these if I don't take them out of the package. I do have some that will come out of the package today, and we'll actually work on them. The detail in this is absolutely incredible though. Just really fine, elaborate, intricate moldings that are incredibly beautiful. This is another one we're going to use today, and this one's called Luxe or Nada. And another thing I want to show you is with this Decor Poly, the range of sizes that you get. So I showed you this giant one, and then I've got something smaller, and I'm going to use these on the same project. They definitely complement each other. They've all got kind of a acanthus leaf design somewhere in them. Just a lot of scroll work, so you can use them in combination with each other too. So those are the two I'm going to use. This is another really good size one. This is called Vintage Inlay. But when you need pieces like this, so why would you choose the Decor Poly versus your Redesign with Prima molds? I think I brought a mold out here. Do I have a mold up here?
I think this is more for me, but Sherry announced it basically her arrival because she's under her business page.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So thank you for that.
Hi, Sherry. Okay, so this is another really good size one. When you're casting a mold with the Redesign with Prima molds, they're absolutely beautiful. I use my molds a ton, but you just can't get sizes like this out of a mold. So I'm loving that this is going to be an option for us now, is to have these large sizes. Also, these do not require you to use anything with them for casting. So as far as like a resin or a clay or anything like that, they are foolproof every time they come out of the package, 100% perfect every time. We'll look at some of the features of these too. This one's called Regal Finesse. And this one's just sort of a half of a design on there. So you could put these end to end if you wanted to make one longer design out of them, or just a piece that has them on either side. A lot of these, I imagine that I will use them in pairs. I'll probably have two. The ones that I'm going to use today, I'm going to use two of each one. This is another bigger design. This is sort of a wreath design. This one is called Delicate Motif. Sort of that wreath design, and you could put something, you know, fun in the middle. Like I see these a lot with like a bumblebee in the middle, and you could use them in conjunction with your Redesign with Prima molds and just put like a bumblebee in the middle. Would be really cute. This one is called Scroll Enrich. I've seen this one on a couple projects that are coming out today. I'm starting to see the projects coming out with these on them, and putting this along the bottom of a table, just kind of following the scroll work is really pretty.
I think it's Sharon that's on here posting the numbers.
Oh
to
yes,
these.
yes. These
We're
are
gonna need to talk.
these are
Obviously,
available now at your local retailers. They range in retail price on the smaller end at $7.99 up to about $18.99. So the price is really reasonable. Royal Decorum is this one here. And a lot of these can be used vertical or horizontally. This one's probably more of a horizontal motif, and it kind of has a swag design on it with some flowers in there and a leaf design. But let me give you an example. Like, well, this one here that I'm going to use today, I feel like it could be used either this way or it can be used this way. So you can really kind of reimagine them. These can be cut. They are bendable, fully bendable without exposing them to heat. So they're super easy to use. This one's called Intricate Grace. That's got two pieces in there. This is the opposing design. So you get a right and a left-hand design with this one. And that's exactly how I imagine using them is I will probably use a right and a left-hand design with these. Let's see, did I show you all these? All right, I think that's, oh, I'm missing one design, a little square. I just had it out last night. It was the square ones. Because I was debating using it.
the park. I do not know where.
Is it up here?
Oh,
No?
let's take a look. See.
All right, well, I'll have my sidekick come. Oh, yes, that one. Thank you. This one, this was a close contender for using on this piece. That's why I have it out. I think I'll use this one a lot. And how I imagine this one's called Deco Accent, is I imagine putting a piece of hardware in the center of this, drilling it out, and putting my knob in the center, and that would be a beautiful, like a bold hardware back. All right, so do you guys want to use these? Let's take one out of the package. Of course, I told you I'm going to use this big guy here because I have this piece and it had these plain doors on the side. So this furniture piece, I accented the center with this beautiful transfer from Redesign. This is the flower collector transfer. I did a little bit of wax work. This is Wise Owl paint, and my two colors that I have on here are Dried Time and Restoration. And I accented it with some wax work and then some Redesign Decor wax along the edges. It looks like it has a metal molding. The gold along the edges made it look like a metal molding. So I thought that was really pretty. But I have plain doors on the side, and I feel like this piece, it's a beautiful piece of furniture. It's got original moldings here, but the doors are kind of open and plain.
Ooh, question from me. What are these blue things on the door here?
Ah, that's painter's tape. That's painter's tape. Those are going to be our guide marks for putting this on. You guys will thank me later that I did my measuring off camera, because always when I measure on camera, it takes me 10 times longer, and I'm definitely going to mess it up. So I didn't want to go back and look at this, and my molding is like this, and I didn't even realize it. You guys always point it out on camera, too, when I do it.
It's like an 80s family portrait where it's on its side, looking in the distance. Yeah.
Okay, so this is one of the pieces of Décor Poly out of the package, and this is the flex you get. I haven't added any heat to this. This is totally at room temperature. This is full flex just out of the package. Okay, so I can totally flex this if I've got curved pieces. I can put this on here right out of the package. So I could wrap, this piece actually has corner moldings that are rounded. So I could wrap a corner, and I would just tack this down with some painter's tape. I would not probably use this particular one on a corner, but just for the sake of showing you that these can totally wrap a corner like that.
Yes, non-smelly. These are technical terms.
They don't.
Non-smelly, non-toxic.
Yeah, they don't have a foul odor to them at all. I have to get it really close to even smell anything out of the package. You don't even smell anything. It has a very light scent if I put it right up to my face, but I probably wouldn't do that ever.
Unless you like face planted
and
into
then
it.
I can bring this back to flat. So I just put that to a curve. I can also just bring it back to flat. The other thing I thought was really cool on these is the back of them is scored. And why that matters is because this is a big, heavy piece of molding, and that's going to help it bond to my furniture piece. It's going to grab onto that glue. It's going to grab onto my paint and give it a way to actually bond to it with that light scoring on the back. So the backs are less pretty. They are this color, but they are fully paintable, and we are actually going to paint this one today. So you guys want to get started on this so that we can get this on my project.
Oh, the dang Prop 65 warning. But there
yeah.
is not one.
Yeah, is there? Is there no Prop 65 warning on this?
Yeah.
Did Redesign say that?
Yeah.
Okay. Why that's such a big deal to me is I live in California which is why we have Prop 65. It's because of California. We have to have those warnings on everything. If it's sold in the state of California, and you cannot get anything in this state. You can't, even buildings, like you walk into a building and they will have a warning on the wall.
Here, hold on, I just put a hat on. It's got a Prop 65 warning on it.
It's a warning that says, this contains something that may cause cancer, and it may be in such mild amounts that, if you're exposed to it or you consume it, daily for 60 years, you could end up with cancer, but it's that kind of warning. So to not see a Prop 65
that's pretty rigid, yeah. Like, I mean, that's really good, actually.
Yeah, what?
Like, everything.
Yeah,
almost water needs a Prop 65 warning.
Exactly.
So that's really good.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to put my my Décor Poly into this container here. And I'm going to get it nice and flat. And how I want to start this one is I want to go ahead and prime this piece. So I'm just going to use a rattle can primer. This is a light gray. And this is just going to help me get better coverage out of my paint. So I'm just going to give this a light coat of primer. You do not have to prime these. I have one that I used without priming. So we're going to do it both ways. This is a much bigger, thank you. Okay, so that's with just a coat of primer on it. Already it looks really pretty. And I'm gonna set this one aside to dry, and we're gonna pull out another piece that I'm gonna also use on this project. And that is this guy here. This is the Luxe or Nada one. Let's take this out of the package. Okay, and I'll show you this up close so you can see some of the details on this one. And this one,
my heated vest have a Prop 65 warning?
What's that?
Did my heated vest have a Prop 65 warning?
Oh, it needs to.
Oh, it's going to get a lot of warnings.
Yeah, Sean was wearing a heated vest at his desk this week, and it burned his back in the shape of a coil mark on his back. So he has now a coil.
I always wanted a tattoo.
He has a coil-shaped tattoo now. All right, so I'm going to open up my paint. This is the green that's on here, the Wise-All paint in dried time. And this one I'm just going to go ahead and paint. I'm not going to prime this one.
Yeah, it's not required. You're totally okay.
So I'm just going to use an artist brush. And I found that using like a stippling motion when I'm painting these really helped. And that's because they're so intricate that pouncing with the brush helps it find all the details on here. So they start in this brown color, but you can really make these any color you wanted to.
Look, it's my contributions for story time. That's why I do these things.
Yeah, Sean does absolutely sacrifice himself so you can get good stories.
I actually am just a walking warning label.
I feel like they owe you a thank you for burning your back with your heater vest.
It wasn't even a vest. It was a back brace.
So this actually got pretty good coverage with just one coat of paint, and I am going to use Redesign Decor Wax on here, which is going to give me some additional coverage. I didn't find that I needed to even give this 2 coats of paint. Can you actually plug my heat gun in for me? Because I'm just going to dry this paint.
Can't do it.
All right, I just want to make sure that I'm covering all the brown that's underneath. And I'm just painting right onto the Décor Poly, right out of the package. I'm just using the paint that's on my lid because it doesn't take a lot. This is a fairly petite piece of molding. And I'm going to hand this to my lovely assistant to have him dry this one.
What?
I'm actually using the packaging as my drop cloth too, so nothing goes to waste around here, even the packaging.
Even the free labor?
Oh, that definitely doesn't go to waste. Take help where you can get it. All right, can you dry that one for me?
Thank you.
And then one more that I want to show you. All right, I took that same piece that I just painted and I'm going to show you how I can cut these. So I have out a razor knife. Take this big piece of molding out of my box so that I don't cut onto my stool. All right, and just with a sharp razor knife, I am going to take off on this piece of molding. I'm going to take off this section and this section. I'm going to take out this center medallion so that I only have this edge part of it. And I'll show you how I'm going to combine these all into one. So these actually cut pretty easily. You can use a pair of scissors with these. And I will save these pieces that I'm cutting off and I'll use them on another project. So I'll get multiple projects out of this one piece of Décor Poly. So I'm just pressing down with the razor knife. I have this cardboard box underneath me. It's not going through the box. And I can isolate just this edge piece of this medallion. So they're totally cuttable and you can cut them to conform to whatever you're using them on. I have to think about this because I did have to take out one little piece of scroll work at the bottom just so it will fit on. I already did the other side on this. So that's what I'm left with, and let's go ahead and paint this one also. I'm going to use that same color, which is my Weisel paint and dried thyme. I'm also just using the stippling motion. So far I've got this same molding. I've got it in a full length, and then I cut this other second one into two pieces.
Ooh, I just saw somebody ask for a dad joke.
Oh.
I don't have any. My mind is all over the map right now.
Just heard one the other day. Someone said one and I was like, oh, thanks for the dad joke. Where were we at, the pizza restaurant? Oh, dang it.
Sorry to be such a disappointment, everyone.
I know, he should come locked and loaded with dad jokes for you guys. Especially if it was just Father's Day. Like it's a day to celebrate dad jokes. I don't know, why don't we have mom jokes? I feel like
because moms aren't funny.
I feel like I'm getting robbed. This is absolutely true because we have to be all business. All right, I'm gonna hit that one and this other, the bigger one with the dryer. All right, so I've got a dry piece of molding. Now these smaller ones, especially when they're a little bit thicker, they have a little more rigidity just because of the thickness of the material. But these smaller ones, like I can go full circle with these, with how bendable they are. So the smaller medallions have even more flex to them. My paint is holding, it doesn't want to crack or anything. Even with the flex of that molding, this would be a great one to put on a piece on a curved surface like that. But this one I'm actually going to put on as a flat. So I'm going to apply this using Titebond Quick and Thick adhesive. And I'm going to turn it over right onto the back of my molding. Now this is really intricate and I do want to try to get full coverage out to the outer edges of my molding so that when this is seated on my piece, it's going to look original to the piece. So I'm going to put some glue on here, but then I'm going to spread it out using my finger so that I've just got a thin layer. It doesn't take a whole lot because these are not super heavy. They're very lightweight too. Okay, so I've got a few dots of glue out to the edges and I'm going to use my finger and just smear this out so that I just get a nice thin layer with full coverage. I'm trying to keep it from filling up any of the voids in the mold with glue because this glue will dry clear, but I really don't want glue oozing out around the edges. If you get a little bit, again, the glue will dry clear, so I didn't have a problem with that at all. Even where I had little dots of glue that would come out, it was not noticeable once it dried. I've got a little excess on my finger. I'm just going to take it off because I don't need that much glue. It doesn't take a whole lot to hold these on.
It's not, sorry, it's not on camera. Somebody's after the name of the glue.
This is a less is more. This is Titebond Quick and Thick adhesive. This is a hardware store item. I get this at
Kidding, it was on camera.
Oh, I can't remember.
But somebody really did ask.
I can't remember if Home Depot or Lowe's has it, and I think it was like Lowe's that used to carry it, and they don't anymore.
Savages.
I know. I mean, I figure I've been pitching it for how long now? Like it should be a #1 seller. I do see it being used so much. It's a great adhesive. It's an all-around adhesive. You can use this on wood, metal, plastic. So it's very universal. It dries fairly quickly, and it's nice and thick so that it won't want to drip. If you can use other types of adhesive on this, but I don't like when it drips. I'm going to put this up on a vertical surface, and I definitely don't want it to drip after I put it on. All right, if I go up top, are you going to be able to come see?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so let's take this, and this is actually going to go up onto the top of this piece.
Oh, I was just kidding.
All right, one thing I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to measure center on this.
What?
I know, it's not my thing.
That's crazy talk.
I'm not a big fan of the measuring. But I do want this to be really pretty. I love this furniture piece. I've got a lot of time invested into it. I'm just going to use a chalk pencil. Chalk pencils are great when you're marking out things on chalky style paint because graphite can bleed through paint, but chalk absolutely doesn't.
Where are you going to go?
I'm going to go right to the center of this.
Okay, I'm going to...
So this is my backboard here on the back of this piece, and originally it just has nothing. It has no accents, no decoration at all. And again, this is a pretty ornate piece of furniture, so I want to give it some. So I'm going to measure this out from one end to the next and find center. Of course, 32 3/4. Yeah.
What would that
great. Be? Half of 32 3/4. Here, what if I just measure the inside edge? Does that?
Yeah, that's what you should be doing.
That's 32 1/2. That's a little better.
That would be...
All right, 16 1/4.
Whoa, whoa.
All right. So
you got that.
I'm just going to make a pencil mark right on here. I say pencil, but it is a chalk pencil. It's a sewing tool. Definitely pick one of these up next time you're in a sewing section. Chalk pencils are great to have.
Sorry, but you're in the way.
Aren't I always?
Yeah.
All right, and that's my center, and I'm going to line up the center of this medallion right onto the center of that. I do have a little bit of excess glue coming out on this edge here. All right, so I'm going to find center.
Man, I got stuff in my way.
Is it my head? All right, and this glue is pretty thick, so it will hold this pretty easily without needing to use painter's tape. Okay, and I'm just going to press it into place. This is going on a flat surface, so it's pretty easy application. And then I'm going to take a little bit of my paint, and I'm just going to touch up some areas that I'm seeing. This back is the solid color of my paint, so it's a pretty easy place to touch up. It's going to look a little darker going on, but it will dry to the lighter color. And I'm also at the same time camouflaging any glue that may have come out from underneath. Just using my brush to kind of get into those crevices. Very little paint, because you don't want to paint over a surface that has wet glue on it. It will keep your glue from drying. But I'm just using this to kind of clean up the glue, make my paint look nice and seamless, and this is a solid color back on here. So that'll dry and just look like a seamless part. And then let me show you what I'm going to do with this half piece that I have here. This I'm going to put onto the edge on this side. You can see I've got one over here facing the other direction, so those will face in from the edges, and then I'll have this guy in the center too. So let's add some glue to this one. And then we'll come down and paint the big one that's on the front. So I'm going to do the same thing, a little bit of glue, less is more. I don't want it oozing out from underneath. Doesn't take a whole lot to hold these because they are lightweight. So I just kind of put some dots on there, and I'm going to smooth out a thin layer just using my finger. Okay, Okay, and this is going to go right here up against this edge molding. Nice and straight into that corner. Right, and so this otherwise plain back here, and a lot of furniture pieces have these, and they're just kind of, you know, kind of plain, but if I want to make an accent out of it, and then I'll do the same thing. I'm going to take my paint color. I'm using it to clean up my glue. Makes it easy that this is a solid paint color behind it. Let me give you guys a recommendation. If I would not have been doing this on camera, I would have put these moldings on before I painted. But I had to save them till the very end. They had to be a secret. And so I ended up painting this whole buffet, and I'm adding them to afterwards. I would definitely put these on either after my primer, but definitely I would paint them on the piece. And let's see, and I want to add some of my Redesign with Prima Decor wax. So this is Redesign Decor Wax in Eternal, which is a nice rich gold. Make sure you guys can see over here. I'm going to point you a little bit over to the side, and maybe I'll have Sean come in a little bit closer for me. I want to get this one right here. I'm not going to do these because I just put a little bit of paint on them, so they're still wet, but this one over here is nice and dry. And I'm just going to apply this with my finger now that these are already applied to my piece. And this is going to bring out all the high points in this molding, and this is where you're really going to notice how intricate these are. And I'll also do around these outer edges, I'm going to add a little bit of black wax on there first. And this piece will just be really kind of monochromatic with just the green blend and then a little bit of gold accents. You see how that pops against the back. That's really pretty. So it kind of gives you a focal point to the back of this piece too. So that's how the back will end up looking, and that is 2 pieces of molding. So one that I used in its full self, and then one that I cut in half and put on either side of it. All right, you guys want to come down and paint the big one? Got a little bit more time, we can finish that one up. I'm sorry, I'm going to get yelled at for this.
For the moving back and forth?
I know, it's your favorite.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to grab my paint, we'll come down. But that shows you how you can combine these, how they complement each other, and the different sizes can work for different areas.
She's zoomed in there.
All right, again, I would definitely have painted this on my furniture piece. I would have glued it either with just a coat of primer on it or just in the brown, and I would have painted this on my furniture piece. So ignore that you're seeing this in a different order, and that's only because I couldn't show you guys these. All right, so we're gonna paint this one, and the first thing I wanna do is there's kind of a highlight of a lighter color paint on the center of these doors. So I am going to paint, I'm going to mix up a little bit of paint to match. My artist brush, yeah. So all I did, it doesn't have to be exact. It doesn't have to be an exact match as long as it looks like it's around the same shade. If it's a tiny shade off, you are not even going to notice. So I'm mixing up a little bit of Wise-Owl paint in Restoration with the dried thyme to make just kind of this light highlight of light green that you see in the center. It's lighter than the shade that's on around the outer edges, so I need to mix them together. Had I painted them on the piece, I wouldn't need to do this. I want to get this really nice and light. So I'm just trying to get close to that color that I see in the center. Probably almost there. I just keep adding the Restoration until I have about the color that I think I need to be at. All right, maybe a little bit more. All right, and now I can go ahead and paint this one. Now, when I was painting this molding the first time, I found that using a little bit of water helped because it's so big and it's so detailed that it's got a lot of crevices to find. Can you just hand me that Here, I can go. Sorry, gotta scoot in front of the camera. Okay, so I'm just grabbing a mister bottle. It helps just loosen up the paint a little bit, and it will naturally help it find some of the low points on this detailed medallion. I'm still kind of using that stippling motion just to get into all the details on this one. I'm going to get around all the edges. The primer underneath is going to really help because it's pretty close to my paint color. So if I missed a tiny little corner, didn't get paint on it, you're not even going to notice. And that was part of the reason I chose to do the primer underneath on this one, was to help with coverage because it's such a large molding that spraying it actually helped me get really good coverage. The spray will find all those low points even if my brush has a hard time getting to them. And then I won't see any of that dark brown poking through. The dark brown is the natural color of the Décor Poly. So I'm turning this just to make sure that I don't see any gray, try to get as much covered as I can. I'm really enjoying seeing all the projects that are coming out in these. Like, this is a way you can take a really flat, plain front piece of furniture and make it look so much more ornate. I know we love to find the already ornate pieces of furniture, but I found that I actually have been tending towards pieces that have like a flat front on them, because then I can add, they're kind of a blank slate for me to add what I want to them. Like I have a new video up on my YouTube channel today that's got a Western theme on it. It's done with Redesign with Prima decoupage paper that has a cowhide print. And I chose that desk because it had just flat fronts for me to decorate how I like. So I think you get more custom looks when you start with a simpler surface and then decorate it yourself. Kind of showcases all the things that I'm going to add on it. Just using an artist brush to do this, and then having it in this box and being able to turn it really helps. You know, I suppose if this was up on my furniture piece, it would be hard to see all the details. Even though when I work on a piece of furniture, I always end up turning it onto its back from side to side. So I do end up seeing it from every angle to see if I missed any spots. All right. I'm just about done, and I'm going to give this a look over, just see if I see any of that primer peeking through. Oh, I do have a little bit down here. But I wanted you guys to see how easily paintable these are, and how you can really take these and make them any color that you want them to be. They started off in that dark backdrop, a little bit of primer, took it right into a lighter color super easily. All right, the coverage on this looks pretty good. I'll have my lovely assistant dry this, and then we will we'll apply this one, and I'll show you guys what those paint marks are for. I'm just going to use the rest of this paint because I already have this color mixed. And nothing goes to waste in my workspace. Okay, so let's go ahead and dry that one. While you dry that, can you point me over to this door?
Which one?
This one here. All right, so that one's gonna get dried, and I'll come over here and I'm gonna start showing you how I'm gonna decorate this other piece of molding that I've already put on this door, and then I'll show you how I applied it. All right, so this has the same paint treatment, and I glued this on. I painted this one also after it was, after the paint on the body was done, I painted this piece of molding. So what I'm doing to kind of frame it out is I'm adding a little bit of black wax. This is Annie Sloan's black wax, and I'm just applying it using some artist brushes. So I'm going to ride the inner edge of this, and I'm just going to use this wax for shading. But I'm also going to shade this medallion a little bit.
Sorry, I'm taking you out of the picture just to get some.
I figure you wanted to do that for years. Yeah,
there goes your life insurance policy. Great.
You guys have seen my face. It's nothing new. This can of wax is pretty old and it's pretty firm, and I like it that way. So I think my black wax actually gets better with age. And then I'm just going to soften that line. So I just added this is my smoky eye look for furniture. But this could be used on any project. I say furniture, but this could be a jewelry box. It could be, you know, a lamp or a tray or any project. You can use these same techniques on. And I'm going to grab two other brushes here, a smaller artist brush and then a slightly larger one, and I'm going to smudge out this wax. I'm applying this onto my raw paint. It is unsealed. And that's just because I really like how raw paint takes waxes. Chalky style paints kind of have a little bit of bite to them. And so it kind of grabs onto my waxes, and I just love the look of it. I didn't add any wax to this brush. Any darkness that you see in here is just wax that it picks up. It's really so little wax that's on this surface that I very rarely wash this brush, and I very rarely add any new wax to it. Okay, and then I'm going to come back with this slightly larger one. Again, not adding any wax. And I'm going to soften this out even more. You can see how it just added a very subtle shading. I'm all about the subtleties in my pieces. I think a little bit goes a long way. I'm not a super bold painter. But I love fine accents and details. I actually really like doing wax work like this too. I think it's really therapeutic. I'm going to do it on the other side of this molding also. All right, and once both sides of that are done, I can put my decor wax on here. I don't care if I got it onto the actual molding itself, because my decor wax is going to go over top, and that's going to be gold. So I actually am working out of an old tin of decor wax. It used to come in tins like this. It now comes in a tube. I still really like the tins, but they tend to dry out a little bit faster. So just be aware that my container might look different than how you see this. It actually comes in a tube. I like just the accessibility of having it in here. It just doesn't store quite as well as the new tubes do. You could have a little tin that you just refill with a little bit at a time out of the tube if you prefer dipping your hand into the
I'm going
tin.
back in.
Yes. So I'm just applying this with my finger.
Wow, this little. Oh, let's see here.
And this is exactly how I got the look that's on the center of this furniture piece. Okay, so I need to do that black wax first, and I don't have it done all the way around my medallion, but I want to do that same treatment around my medallion in the center too. So I'm going to take a slightly smaller brush. Actually, this is even probably a little bigger than I want. Grab an even smaller one. I like these guys here. These are super cheap little artist brushes I picked up off Amazon in a pack of like 200. And they're kind of cheap throwaway brushes, but I love the size of them for doing really detailed wax. So I'm going to ride the edge of this medallion. And I'll probably just do the top of it for right now so that I can show you the effect that I'm going to give.
I think your cameraman's fired.
Oh, yeah? He's going to be hard to replace because he does work cheap.
So I've heard.
You get what you pay for, guys.
I think so.
So I'm going to kind of give this an outline. Like the same smoky eye look that my edge moldings have, I'm going to give it to this medallion too. Just so it kind of has like a dark halo. Looks like a little shadow coming out from around it. Just outlining it in very, 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 very little wax. Doesn't take a lot. Black wax can overpower a piece really fast. I think I've been working out of this same tin for like, I don't know, 2 years. And I paint a lot. All right, so once I've got that kind of running around, I'm just gonna do this top because I really want you guys to be able to see. Now I'm gonna start smudging that out a little bit. So I'm gonna start graduating my brushes up, and without adding any wax to them, I'm gonna give this line. They complaining?
No, it's this holder likes to drop the phone.
Oh, interesting. Oh, is it too heavy? Oh shoot, that's my good one too. Oh, do you want to go get the neck one? I just got this, it's a phone holder, but it goes around my neck.
They can't see the look on my face.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. So that I can film in front of me, because when I'm trying to work with my hands and I've got like a tripod off to the side, it's super awkward. So we'll see how that works out. Either my videos are about to get way better or way worse. All right, so that was a little bit larger brush, and now I'm going to take this one, which is a little bit larger still, and really kind of smoke that out. I'm just taking away the definition of this line so that it looks really nice and sort of smoky. And I will do this around this entire medallion. It actually doesn't take that long, and I really think that detail work like this is kind of therapeutic. But especially when I've got pieces like this where I've got a lot of time invested in them.
Do you ever do smoky eyes when you go on hot dates with Sean?
No, because then I just
with the other.
I look like I got punched in the face when I try to do a smoky eye look. My furniture looks great with it. On my face, punched in the eye. Like a bar. It looks like a bar fight. Sean, I would walk out and Sean would be like, "You're not going out like that, are you?"
I'll just grab the white tank top and put a beer in my hand and just call the cops at that point. Just, I'm good. Yeah, we're done.
They're going to assume it's you anyways.
I've seen how that played out.
So I only did the top, so I'm only going to finish up the top. So I will continue and do this all the way around, but you can see it takes a little bit of time. And then I'm going to finish this off the same way I did around the outer edges with a little bit of this decor wax. So definitely these molds and the decor waxes are kind of meant to go hand in hand. I really can't imagine not using them with the decor waxes. I'm starting around the outer edges and I'm pulling this in. I'll pull it into the center of my mold and just using my finger like a paintbrush starts finding all the details on this. It's so pretty, you guys. I've got the depth, I've got all the depth of the paint color, the dark wax, and then now this gold decor wax going over the top. I can't do the whole thing because I need to do that black wax, and because I do so much brushing with it, I will just end up pulling it back off, pulling the gold back off. So I can only do the parts that I've already done the black wax in. And as I go around, I'm just pulling towards the center from the outer edge of the mold. It's not a lot of wax on my finger either. You can wear a glove with this if you prefer. I kind of like the little bit of heat from your finger. Just helps that wax kind of smooth on, smudge on.
Oh, Sherry's grocery shopping I'm watching. But are you really watching if that's the case?
Yeah. Okay.
Be interesting card at the end of that trip.
Grab me some milk.
Yeah.
I'll send you my list.
Need you go to special sections.
Yeah, Sean is vegan and gluten-free. And
anything that may require the cashier to make a...
Yeah, do a price check. Alright, so I will finish this out, but that's going to go kind of all the way around, and then I will have a focal point on the doors that matches the focal point that I did in the center with that transfer. Alright, I told you guys we were going to glue this other medallion on, and I'm running short on time, so I'm going to just kind of give a run through of it. So this guy is drying out. It just has one coat of paint on there. Still tons of flex in there. That's no heat added, just room temperature. I can go full S shape. I mean, if I needed to, So this, the tape lines, you guys had asked what those were for, have center marked out on them.
I'm the one that asked about that.
Yeah, I asked Sean to help me with this because I did not want to mess up and have this off center. So I will spread the glue on the back just like I did with the smaller medallions, and this will get glued on the center here.
Yeah, do the wave.
Yeah.
How you were contorting it.
Yeah, the only thing I will say is if you're going to put them on a curved surface, probably paints that dry extra hard, like Weisel 1 Hour Enamel dries rock hard. It's meant to be a really durable, like a cabinet paint. Probably would not be the best choice if you're asking for flex from these. On a flat surface, it wouldn't matter. But a super hard paint like that could have a tendency to crack. This is Weisel's Chalk Synthesis paint. Totally fine, handles it beautifully. But again, I'm putting these on a flat surface.
Paula, this is true. I am not cheap. I'm very expensive. Very expensive. She hasn't got my bill yet. Yeah.
Alright, so that's going to get glued on there. So I've got quite a bit more work to do on these to finish out the doors. I also want to accent this existing molding in the same way that I will accent this one with the same waxwork. So it's all going to tie together. Okay. So what do you guys think? They're pretty cool, right? I'm kind of excited for these. Tons of different designs, all super ornate, super easy to use, no odor. They take the mess out of like pouring. I did find a mold up here. So these are my Redesign with Prima molds, and I can cast these, but I'm limited in size because they only come in a certain size, whereas these are much larger. You can see the size difference on these. No mess. I don't have to pour this. I don't have to have multiple products like resin and pouring stuff and my mold. This is kind of a one-step process. Let's see. You get low odor.
No Prop 65 issue.
No props and non-toxic. That's huge. That's amazing that they were able to do this and get this product without that. Beautiful, intricate designs in a variety of sizes. I can't wait to see where these go. It's a brand new product, but I think it's going to be really popular. It's just an amazing way to add something to otherwise really plain surfaces.
Spice it up.
Yeah. I do like the spice. That's a lie. I'm pretty vanilla.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
This is great for me being vanilla. All right, you guys. There is another live coming on after me, so I'm going to go ahead and pop off. You guys enjoy all the artists today. You can find the new Décor Poly, and there's also a variety of new decoupage papers that came out from Redesign today. All of them are available now at your local retailers. So check those out. Contact your local retailer and tell them you want to see the Décor Poly. I don't know. I can't wait to see the projects that you guys do in these. It's going to be really fun. You guys check out the Brush by Brandy YouTube channel. I just put up a new video on there today. It's got a faux barnwood treatment. It's got some cowhide decoupage. It's a Western themed desk, and it went all out Western. It's got some nail heads on there. It's just Western to a T. It was a really fun piece to work on. So that's at Brush by Brandy on YouTube. And I will catch you guys next week. Have a good one.
We're still on. Oh, we're still on.
All right, should I
We're just hanging
keep
out.
talking? I'm gonna add a little dry brushing to this, I think.